Good morning, class. Before we start our lesson, let us begin our day with a short prayer. Let's all stand, bow our heads, and feel the presence of our Almighty Father. Amen. Thank you, everyone. You may now take your seat. Now, let's check the attendance for today. Who's absent today? None? Very good. I can see that everyone is present and ready to learn new things. Let's also take a quick look around in our classroom. Is it clean and organized? Excellent. A clean environment helps us focus and learn better. Now that everyone is set, let's get ready to explore something exciting today. Our lesson is all about sound, light, and heat energy, the form of energy we encounter every day. Now, class, before we begin our new lesson, let's watch a few short videos. I want you to observe carefully and think about what you see and what you hear. Okay, here's the first video. What did you notice? Very good. It is a ringing bell. What happened when you hear a bell? Excellent. That means the bell produces a sound energy. And here's the second video. How about this one? What do you see? Yes, and what kind of energy does a lamp give off when it's turned on? Perfect! The lamp produces light energy that helps us to see in the dark. And here's the third video. Now, what is happening in this video? Very good. What makes the water boil? Heat. Excellent. The stove gives heat energy, which makes the water boil. Wonderful answer, class, from the videos we watched. We saw the different kind of energy, which is sound, light, and heat. These are forms of energy we explore more deeply today. Now that we have learned a little about light, sound, and heat energy, let's have fun activity called energy charades. In this activity, I will do some actions and you followed, and your job is to observe and guess what kind of energy is this. Are you ready, class? Great, let's start. For the first one, what kind of energy is produced when I clap my hand? Very good. Clapping make a sound, so it's called sound energy. For the next one, what did you notice? How about this? What energy do you see? Excellent. The flashlight gives off light energy. How about this? Can you follow me? What did you notice when you do this? That's right. Rubbing hands produce heat energy. Great job, class. You were able to identify all kind of energy, which is sound, light, and heat. These forms of energy are part of our daily lives, and today we'll learn more about how they will work and where they came from. Now that we already know the three kinds of energy, which is sound, light, and heat energy, it's time for us to explore and discover each one on how it works. For today's activity, we'll be doing a fun activity called energy stations. I will divide the class into three groups, and each group will go to a different station. The first station is sound station, the second is light station, and the third one is the heat station. Each group will observe, test, and record what they notice. Are you ready, class? I will give you 5 minutes to do the activity. For the group 1, you'll start here at the sound station. You'll use a rubber bands and stretch around box or a container. Pluck each rubber bands and listen carefully. Group 2, this is your light station. You'll use a flashlight and shine it on a different materials like a piece of glass, paper, and cloth. Observe which materials allow light to pass through and which one blocks it. And group 3, this is your heat station. You carefully fill 2 cups of water, one warm and one cold. Be gentle and make sure it's not too hot. Now, I want you to present what you noticed to your activity. For the group 1, what do you hear? Do thick and thin rubber bands make the same sound? That's right. No, they sound different. When they block rubber bands, they vibrate, and those vibrations produce sound energy. For the group 2, what do you notice? Excellent observation. The glass lets light through, but the cloth doesn't. Some objects let light energy pass through. We can call them transparent, while others block light and we call them opaque. For the group 3, what do you feel? That's correct. One is warm and the other is cold. The difference you feel is because of the heat energy. The warm water was more heat energy than the cold one. Great work, everyone. Give yourself a round of applause for your wonderful activity. Excellent job, class. You all did wonderful work at the energy stations. Now, let's talk about what you discover and learn more about sound, light, and heat energy. Before we begin, can anyone remind us what is energy? That's right. Energy is the ability to work or cause change. Everything that moves, makes sounds, give light, or produce heat uses energy. Today, we will understand how sound, light, and heat energy cause changes and help us in our daily lives. Let's start with the sound energy. Who can tell me what you discovered at the sound station? Excellent observation. That's because when you block a rubber band, it vibrates. This vibration moves through the air and reach our ears. That's how we hear sound. So sound energy is produced when something vibrates. Sound need a medium like air, water, or a solid object to travel. That's why we can hear underwater or through walls. But sound cannot travel through a vacuum like a outer space. The louder the vibration, the stronger the sound. The faster something vibrates, the higher the pitch. Example of this is ringing bells, guitar string, or someone is speaking, thunder, and clapping hands. Can you name something around us that make a sound energy? Very good. All of this produce sound energy through vibration. Now let's talk about light energy. Who can share what you observe at the light station? That's right. Light travels in straight lines and can pass through some materials but not others. If light passes easily, the object is transparent, like a glass. If it allows only one light, it's a translucent, like a paper. And, and lastly, if it blocks the light completely, it's called opaque, like a wood or cloth. Get most of our light's energy from? Very good, the sun. The sun is our main natural source of light. Other sources are light bulbs, candles, and flashlight, which are artificial sources. Light helps us to see things and it can also reflect, make shadows, and even help plants grow through photosynthesis. Now let's move to the heat energy. What did you observe at the heat station? That's correct. The warm water has more heat energy than the cold one. Heat energy is also a thermal energy. It is the energy that makes things warm or hot. Heat comes from the movement of a tiny particles in matter. When the particle moves faster, the object becomes hotter. When they move slower, it becomes cooler. The sources of heat energy, like the natural, is the sunlight, or lightning, or fire. The artificial heat is stoves, irons, uh, and engines and heaters. Can anyone tell me how heat moves? Very good. The conduction is when heat moves through direct contact like a metal spoon getting hot in soup. The other is the convection, is when heat moves through a liquid or gases like warm air rising. And lastly, radiation is when heat travels through waves. That's how we can feel warm from the sun. Heat energy can cause changes in matters like melting ice, boiling water, or drying clothes. Remember, heat always moves from a hotter object to a cooler one. All these are forms of energy, and energy is something that can cause change. Sound makes air vibrate, light helps us see, and heat makes things warm or even change state. Every day, we use this energy around us, from listening to music, seeing the sunlight, to feel the warmth of a fire. Energy is truly everywhere, and without it, we wouldn't be able to move, see, or even live. Great job, class! You are becoming real young scientists. Now that we are done to our discussion, you did a great job learning about the sound, light, and heat energy. Now let's see how well you can apply what you have learned. We're going to do a short activity called Energy All Around Us. On the board, uh, you can see this table with the three columns with the sound, light, and heat energy labeled. Each group will think of example of sound, light, and heat energy that we can find in our environment. Try to think example that we haven't mentioned yet in our discussion earlier. You may discuss this with your group and write your answer in the table. You only have 5 minutes to list as many example as you can. Alright, time's up. Let's hear your answer. Let's start with the group 1. Can you give one example of each kind of energy? Group 1. Excellent examples. Group 1. A barking dog produces sound energy through vibration. A candle flame gives light energy, and it can also produce a bit of heat energy. And yes, an iron produces heat energy that help us press clothes. Very good, Group 2. A whistle creates sound from air vibration. A street light gives light energy at night, and a hair dryer produces heat energy using electricity. Wow, you all did great job identifying different sources of sound, light, and heat energy around us. You see, energy is everywhere, at home, school, or even in nature. So, with your answer groups, let's fill our final class table together. Great job, everyone. By identifying these examples, we can see that energy is part of our daily lives, helping us to see, hear, and feel warm and do work. Give yourself a big round of applause for being an observant and active learner. All right, class, you've all done an amazing job learning about sound, light, and heat energy today. Now it's time for you to test your knowledge with a short quiz. Are you ready? Great! You need to answer a few multiple choice and identification questions. Remember to read each question carefully and choose or write the best answer. You have a few seconds to think before you move on the next one. Let's begin. All right, time's up. Let's check your answer together. Okay, now who got 10 out of 10? Raise your hand. Wow, an excellent work. How about those nine who got 9? Great job. Anyone with 8? Nice effort. All did an amazing job. Remember, energy is all around us. It helps us to see, hear, and feel warm every day. We end our lesson for today. I have a short assignment for you to do at home. This activity will help you to observe how sound, light, and heat energy are present in the things that around us. Here is the instruction, class. You will bring your drawing or photo and your answer in our next class for sharing. I'm excited to see what you'll find energy is all around us. And you just need to observe closely. That's all for today, class. Great job in learning about sound, light, and heat energy. See you next time, and don't forget to bring your assignment.